The fire lane guardian. The crunch of metal was deafening, a mechanical roar that silenced the suburban chatter of Maple Grove. Ellen's pristine SUV buckled as a gleaming steel bollard rose from the ground, impaling its undercarriage with surgical precision. Her scream pierced the air, shrill and frantic. "My car! What have you done?" Neighbors froze, a kid's lemonade cup hit the pavement, and I, Tom Harrison, stood on my porch, coffee in hand, meeting her furious glare. "Ellen," I said, voice steady, "that's not a parking spot." The crowd held its breath, but this wasn't just about a car. It was about rules, safety, and a woman who thought she could bully a neighborhood into submission. 3 years ago, I moved into Maple Grove, a quiet townhouse complex in suburban Ohio, after retiring from designing security systems for corporate clients. I chose the corner unit for one reason. It backed onto a city-approved emergency fire lane, a 10-foot wide path marked with yellow crosshatching and signs screaming, "No parking." As an engineer who'd seen what happens when safety is ignored, I took that lane seriously. It wasn't a driveway or a shortcut, it was a lifeline for ambulances and fire trucks to reach the back row of homes in seconds. For 2 years, no one touched it. Then Ellen arrived. Ellen swept in like a storm, her SUV blocking the fire lane on move-in day for hours. She was all smiles and sharp heels, introducing herself at the HOA meeting with a 10-page community enhancement plan. She pushed for uniform mailboxes, banned bird feeders, unsightly, and even suggested fining people for excessive holiday lights. When I handed her a copy of the fire lane rules, she waved it off with a laugh. "Oh, Tom, it's just a little path. Relax." That was my first warning. The trouble started small. Ellen began parking her SUV in the fire lane first for quick errands, then for hours. I knocked on her door, pointed to the signs, and explained the rules. She rolled her eyes. "It's not a big deal. You've got too many cones out there anyway." I left notes, cited city codes, and even showed her the laminated permit on my fence. She ignored it all. At a neighborhood barbecue, I tried again. "Ellen, that lane's for emergencies. You're risking lives." She smirked, sipping her iced tea. "Lives? Please, Tom. It's not like we're in a war zone." The real wake-up call came during a fire drill. The HOA had coordinated with the local fire station, and when the engine rounded the corner, Ellen's SUV was parked square in the lane. Firefighters had to drag hoses 400 feet around the complex, cursing under their breath. I stood next to Ellen as it happened. She shrugged. "They can use the front next time." The fire chief, a no-nonsense guy named Dan Carter, wasn't amused. He handed me a letter the next day. "If that lane's blocked during a real fire, people die. Fix it." That's when I dug into my old designs. Years ago, I'd sketched a retractable hydraulic bollard for a client, a sleek, stainless steel post that could rise in seconds to stop unauthorized vehicles. It was legal, city-compliant, and perfect. I got permits, hired a fabrication shop, and installed it in a week. The system was discreet, tied to my phone, with sensors to detect vehicle weight. I didn't want to destroy anything, just enforce the law. Ellen, predictably, lost it. When contractors started digging, she marched out with a clipboard, demanding HOA approval. I showed her the city permits. She scoffed. "This is a trap. What if someone parks there by mistake?" I smiled. "Then they shouldn't park in a fire lane." She fired off complaints. My grass was too long. My cameras were invasive. My gate was the wrong shade of beige. I sent her violations to the city, complete with video evidence of her SUV in the lane. Their response: "Proceed as planned." The bollard was ready by Saturday, hidden beneath a seamless pavement cover. I tested it 40 times flawless. That afternoon, during the HOA's monthly potluck, Ellen made her move. She strutted to her SUV, parked it in the fire lane with a flourish, and locked it, daring me to react. The crowd watched, sensing a showdown. I didn't flinch. Inside, I pulled up the app, checked the safety sensors. No pedestrians, no pets, and tapped the button. The bollard rose like a silent predator. A groan of metal, a pop, then a sickening crunch as the SUV lifted off the ground. The transmission fluid sprayed, the rear axle twisted, and the vehicle tilted like a wounded animal. Ellen sprinted over, screaming about vandalism and lawsuits. Neighbors gaped. Someone dropped a plate of potato salad. I stepped outside. "Ellen, the camera caught you parking there." Again. The police arrived, lights flashing. Ellen pointed at the bollard, calling it a death trap. I handed over the permits, the chief's letter, and the footage. One officer chuckled. This is the most documented bollard I've ever seen. They declined to arrest me. Ellen's SUV was towed, a mangled wreck. By nightfall, a kid across the street had uploaded the video online, titled Entitled Neighbor vs. Physics. It hit 200,000 views in 24 hours. Ellen didn't quit. She vanished for 2 days, then stormed the next HOA meeting with a stack of papers labeled evidence of assault. She claimed the bollard was a weapon, that I was a menace. She even compared it to a landmine, passing out blurry screenshots with red arrows. I presented my permits, the fire chief's letter, and videos of her violations. The HOA president, a timid guy named Paul, finally spoke up. Ellen, you parked illegally. The bollard did its job. Case closed. She stormed out, vowing revenge. Her next move was petty but bold. I woke to find my trash can dumped across my driveway, my porch camera tilted upward. The garage feed caught her, hoodie up, kicking the can at 3 a.m. I sent the clip to the police. She got a vandalism fine. Then she tried the city, filing a complaint that I was running a military-grade defense system. The inspector laughed when he called. A bollard isn't a missile, but I'll check it out. He came, tested the system, and gave it a perfect score. More neighborhoods need this, he said. Ellen's final stunt was a blog post on a local watchdog site. Rogue engineer terrorizes suburb with killer machine. It was laughable, but the comment section exploded. Conspiracy nuts called me a government stooge. Locals defended me, citing Ellen's bullying. I posted a response with all the evidence permits, videos, the chief's letter. The tide turned. Someone made a meme. The bollard, 1, Ellen, 0. Then came the real test. A summer storm knocked out power, and a lightning strike sparked a fire in a back row unit. Smoke rose, a child screamed, and the main gate was blocked by a fallen tree. I ran to the control panel, lowered the bollard, and waved the fire truck through. They reached the fire in under a minute, saving a family of 3. The captain shook my hand. That lane saved lives tonight. Ellen watched from her porch, rain-soaked, silent. The next night, she left a Tupperware of cupcakes on my doorstep with a note. I was wrong. You were right. I'm sorry. I didn't gloat. I just ate a cupcake, it was stale, and moved on. The neighborhood changed. The bollard, now dubbed the Guardian, became a symbol of safety. The HOA made the fire lane a priority, and Ellen faded into the background, her clipboard days over. Residents started talking again, helping each other, trusting the rules. The lane stayed clear, and Maple Grove felt like home. What do you think? Was the bollard justice or overkill? Have you faced someone like Ellen, where entitlement clashed with fairness? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about standing up to bullies and keeping communities safe.